Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I almost started this video without hooking up my mic again, which I've done before. I've actually made like 23, 25-minute videos without hooking up my mic, and it was really just awful because especially you forget everything you talked about, and it was just like, whatever. Anyway, the purpose of this video, welcome to my YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe if you like this kind of content, especially when it comes to identity. I have to say, I really can't think of anything, any dysfunction that I have seen in my personal relationships or the relationships that I run into and the way people present themselves, generally speaking, and this includes myself, that aren't anchored in a false sense of identity. Look at the tree here. That tree. Right there. That way. I keep pointing in the wrong direction because I'm backwards with the camera I'm looking at. It's not worried about his identity. All it does is grow and turn carbon dioxide to oxygen and just grow in the sunlight. What a wonderful thing to do, right? When you have no worries in the world, not a care in the world, and all you do is turn the toxic poison in your environment into something that's breathable. Love trees. I love trees. And that's actually what we're all doing in a way. We're all resting, we're all taking care of ourselves in some way. If your body didn't rest and your body didn't heal itself, then you die very quickly of toxicity because we eat so much junk just naturally. Almost anything we put in our body is junk. You know, you're taking something in that's a foreign body, and your body has to deal with it and break it down so that it can dispose of it. I mean, the process is very inefficient when it comes to absorbing and putting on body mass. I guess I can include this one in case you guys didn't know this simple statistic, but the octopus is the most efficient eating animal in the world. It puts on 40% of the weight of the thing that's eating. That's why octopuses grow so fast. I didn't know that until I watched a documentary on octopuses, and that information isn't really readily available between documentaries. So just a little tidbit of information for you guys. Anyway, we see it crop up in social media a lot. You know, we have, and I've always tried to stay neutral when it comes to whatever posts I'm making, even this video. You know, if somebody disagrees with you in the comments, whatever. Most of the disagreements are based on a false sense of identity, if that makes sense. So what are we? We really have to get to that thing and then look at everything in this picture. The tree, the planet, the stars. Every single thing you're looking at is a structure in a field that is sourced at one point. So everything that we see, you could say, is source expressing itself as a structure in a field. It is a three-part being. It is a child of its parent. There's always a larger field and structure that it's inside of, and all of it is coming from one point. In the Bible, it's described as the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So the Father being the source, the parent. You can call it Father, but it's not masculine nor feminine. It's the source, the one point, because it's the masculine aspect is the structure, and the feminine aspect is the field, the energy, the womb. The womb provides the energy for the information, the masculine aspect, and then you make a baby. We are all children of our parent. We'll always be a child. And so to think in any other way as a child usually means we have a false sense of identity. We're all children. But at the same time, we're all exactly the same. We're just a structure within a field. And then we are the creators of our own structure. We are our own source. Everything is its own source when you look at it. Which is why if you think negatively about yourself, it will create negative consequences. You will feel bad. You will physically feel ill if you think bad about yourself. Don't do that. Just because somebody else might have projected something negatively about you in some way, shape, or form, or positively, can be just as toxic. If everybody's trying to lift you up, oh, you look great, you look super. It's like, it doesn't matter. I'm just a structure in a field, just like you. I'm the child of my parent. Let's go run and jump and have fun together, because none of it really matters, right? All the false projections. And when you think about people that grow up in toxic environments, all of us have grown in some form of toxicity, because every single one of us, I don't think there's anybody that I know of personally. Maybe you do. I just, I'm not aware of it. Please state it in the comments if you grew up in a household where your parents had a firm understanding that all they were was just a structure in a field, and they were their own source. They were the creators of their own reality, and their father, they were the sons of God, the creator. Everything that's been created around you, you are the creator of yourself, and you are in full alignment with the master plan. There's no way that you cannot be. Every single thing that you look at is coming from and going back to one point. It is impossible for you to make your parent angry. All you do is get flushed down the toilet if you don't understand. And then you get regurgitated over and over and over. That's what it looks like. That's what the field looks like. It's a toroidal field. It comes from one point and goes back to one point, and it keeps rediscovering itself over and over and over and returning back to source. So all of us came from the same place, and we're all going back to the same place. There's no such thing as some kind of, there may be a temporary spiritual hierarchy, but when it comes down to it, the only thing that's really real is I am that I am, the source of all things, because every structure in every field is impermanent. And when you really think about it that way, life can get really easy. Because now, why would you judge something that's temporary? It's temporary. It's not permanent. And so, little witnessing here. Somebody put a post on LinkedIn, and I made a comment just saying that, hey, when it comes to, honoring your emotions, think of it this way. Because this is a really good way to ground your emotional states. And that's why I brought it up. So trying to add to the conversation. We're all just source expressing itself as a structure in a field. You can't say one part is worse than the other part. It's all growing. It's all expanding slowly over time to contain more of itself, to be able to listen to more of itself, and then create and impact more of itself. And it seemed like the person took it personally. Trying to one-up the commenter. It's like, no. And this is the same way that I view every post. Is if I feel like I can add something to a post, why wouldn't I? Because it has nothing to do with the person that's making the post. It's everybody that's going to view it. And so you want to be able to give as much information, even if your viewpoint is skewed and you might change your viewpoint later. Don't be afraid to add something to something to try and expand the awareness of what's going on there. It has nothing to, like if I make a post, this video included, if you have anything that you think that you could possibly add that somebody might read that would expand their viewpoint and their perception of what's going on, why wouldn't you do it? They're a part of you. Not just a part of you, they are you, experiencing everything from an infinite number of different ways. We're all very unique, but in the end, we're all the same. And if you can really capture that and understand that, then almost all your stresses will go away. And you'll feel a lot more confident about yourself, because it doesn't matter how much money somebody has or doesn't have, or what house they live in or don't live in, or if you're living on a dirt rock out in the middle of nowhere. It's all the same. But you really want to experience, everyone wants to experience the least amount of pain as possible. So that's the idea. We don't want to harm ourselves. And a lot of times, in 99% of the time, we're harming ourselves unconsciously. We're putting toxic things in our body, or we are having toxic thoughts about ourselves and then projecting them onto other people. And we don't understand that that's not true, because the only thing that we are is source. The structure in the field, the child part, dies and is reborn over and over and over. It's impermanent. So to judge something in its temporary form would be a mistake, right? I'm just thinking out loud here, because I love you guys, and it's something that was on my mind, and I was doing some other work in the background, because I believe in people working together, making decisions together, and surrendering to their parent. Because in the end, everything's being created by one thing. And if you can surrender to everything around you, then you'll gain a much larger perspective and realize that in order for everything to expand, you really have to surrender to that process, and then you'll be able to give information that will help it continue to expand. I went golfing the other day, and it was the first time I'd gone golfing this year. This is just an example. Traditionally, my first time out golfing for the year is usually one of my better games, but not. And then the second game is usually pretty bad. I can honestly say that this was the best first round of golf I've ever played in any year. And I found that I just didn't care. Didn't matter what shot I was making. I really didn't care how I was going to do at the end. I just wanted to enjoy the moment. And that's why. And it, the work that you do over time, when you stop caring about the outcome and you just pour your heart into whatever you're doing, whether it be people, or if you're trying to play music, or what you're creating, if you can stay out of the outcome and just, who cares how it ends up? This is what I want it to look like, and this is, pour your heart into it. It will be the most beautiful thing. And you'll be more successful. And it doesn't matter what you're trying to do. And that's what I found when I was golfing. I found that my mind was much more quiet than it ever was before. I remember golfing in the past, it's like, oh man, I gotta get the ball over here. Not only that, but you start to understand a lot more about what's going on around you. It's that you're creating the reality around you. Because if you've gone into rest modes enough times, and especially me, I've spent days in bed where I've examined my thoughts. What kind of thoughts are going through my head? Do I feel bad about myself for resting? Because that's one of the things you're overcoming. If you feel unproductive in any way, then you'll feel bad about yourself. It's like, oh, I'm this worthless piece of crap. But that's not the truth. We already covered that at the beginning of this video. The truth is, you're just a structure, you're just source, a structure in a field. What difference does it make if you're laying in place all day long or not? It really doesn't. There's nothing that's technically better than anything else, because it's all the same thing, expressing itself in an infinite number of ways. And what I found was that my thoughts were creating the way I felt. Over years, that kind of activity, resting the mind, letting negative things bleed out from the body. Because if your mind, your thinking mind, is in your creative circuit, it's your positive circuit. Your negative circuit is below your heart chakra. That's everything that's being attracted to you, right? That's all the lower energies, lower momentums, because it's something that's already produced by something else. That's what's coming to you. Not only that, but you're a closed loop. So everything that you're putting out there is what you're getting back. And so in order for the things to be highly productive that are coming back, you want to make sure that this is positive. Knowing that, why wouldn't I just put it in the hole for every shot? I'm the creator of my own reality. Why wouldn't I, if I'm sitting there 180 yards off the hole that I'm looking at in front of me, it's like, why shouldn't I just go in the hole? Why wouldn't it? So you visualize it and just tell yourself that, okay, let's do that. And even if it doesn't go in, you never stay out of that highest potential. And I found myself noticing how much I changed from, especially the people I was playing golf with, because the people I was playing golf with were getting hard on themselves all the time. And even if I made a bad shot, I was just like, whatever, I don't care. I mean, does it matter? It's golf. I mean, let's be real, right? But there was somebody new that we were golfing with, and we had just invited him to golf with us because he was following us, and there was one guy he was going to play through. He was like, hey, you can play with us if you want. We're just 3 guys here. And so he played with us, and I saw him saying things that I had said before. Oh, I knew I was going to hit that way. It's like, and I thought about it, and I was like, I don't think that way anymore. If I have a preconceived notion in my mind of how I'm going to do something that's less than what the potential of what I could do, then I'm actually creating that thing. And I'm not saying that I'm better in any way than this person I was golfing with. I'm just saying how my mind had changed because I forced myself to do something. This is where, and this is the last thing that I'm going to talk about today, and hopefully this triggers you immensely. I hope this triggers you so much that you change, that you'll be forced to think about it for the next 3 weeks. Are you ready? You can't sell growth. And I've talked about this before on my channel. In order to bleed off negative emotional states and take the time to really understand how your thoughts are creating your reality, you cannot sell that, especially if you go through that process and you learn how to heal yourself of all things. You cannot, understanding that what you had to go through to get to that point means that you can't sell it. It also makes you realize that you're not any better than anybody else. You just went through something that somebody else didn't. So the only thing that I really can do is tell you to do the same thing. If you want to really master yourself and create your own reality and be fulfilled and understand yourself in a much more profound way, that you are the creator. And there's only one. And it is expressing itself in an infinite number of ways. And all you have to do is surrender and rest. And just love unconditionally, because almost everything that you see doesn't understand itself. Love you guys so, so much. And I get a little emotional thinking about it because these concepts aren't readily available. You don't see them on YouTube. People don't talk about it. You know, there's a lot of manifestation stuff out there, but it's not it's not grounded in love. And that's why we love each other unconditionally. If we surrender to each other's needs, and what we need is to heal the mind, body, and spirit to where we're all free together and becoming children again and running and playing together without having to fight over stuff that just doesn't matter. Why would you be attached to something that's temporary? Store not things on this earth, but you know, make your place in heaven, because heaven is always there waiting for you. You just got to let go of things that are temporary, that just are not you. And living in a false sense of identity will always see that. If your identity is attached to anything external, it'll always happen that way. Have a wonderful day. Like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like this kind of content. I don't put videos up very often, and I've said in the past that I'm gonna put videos up more often, but that's not necessarily true. You know, if I feel inspired to say something, and I feel inspired that something needs to go out there, then I'll put it out there. Yeah, love you guys. Have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one.